welcome to CLIC Connect. I'm your host, Craig Sullivan. And today we've got another first-time guest. We've got Mr. Adam Knight, knowing hospitality. Adam specializes in hotel management, hotel consulting, and dare I say it, Airbnb vacation rentals. He is also a speaker and a podcaster. Adam, welcome to the show. How
Craig,
are you?
it's so great to be here. Thanks for having me. This is going to be great.
Yes, it is. Thank you for being here. Adam, let's get right into it. 2020 was a horrific year. I think we need to start a conversation about pivoting after the pandemic. As a consultant, as a management company, what are you trying to get done now to pivot to get your clients and their hotels running to peak proficiency?
Yeah, that's a great question. And so, maybe to give some context on how I ended up in the position that I'm in is that I had a high-level corporate hotel job going into the pandemic. And, like so many people in our industry, I ended up getting furloughed and eventually laid off from that job. And, I've got 25 years working in luxury hospitality. So I tried to figure out what I was going to do with all of that time in the industry. Meanwhile, back in March and April of last year, we all know the state of where everybody's headspace was at. So I was trying to figure out how can I take all of this experience and try to give back to the industry and still have a seat at the table, just maybe be sitting in a different seat. So that's how Knowing Hospitality, the hotel management company, ended up getting formed. The whole idea was to help independent hotel owners deal with what was going on in the industry at the time and subsequently since then, because, we're certainly not out of the woods by any stretch of the imagination. And it's whether those independent owners didn't have the bandwidth to run their hotels anymore. Maybe they just didn't want to. Maybe it was a lender driving a change in management company or requiring a management company to come in. And I looked at really what the state of management companies was, and more specifically, the hotel management agreement aspect of it. And having worked for management companies my entire career, I kind of saw where a lot of the friction points were between owners and management companies. And oftentimes I had been sitting in those board meetings on the management company side, dealing with that friction. So the company, aside from wanting to help independent owners, I saw a need to partner with hotel owners in a more collaborative way and build hotel management agreements off of the incremental profit that we can drive in their property, not just in the, off top line revenue, which, obviously was not existing, but, that's a big need right now is management companies have to partner with owners to try to push things forward.
I agree with you. And it's like no other time before. You really have to be in a vested relationship on both sides. And I'll take it a step farther. Your lender is also a partner with you, whether you want to admit it or not. Now, I talk to a plethora of lenders weekly, whether they're federally chartered banks, state banks, community banks, credit unions. And, the message that they're putting out there is be honest, let us know what's going on, and we'll work with you. And I think that's a skill level that you better have that pencil really sharpened right now so that you can take advantage of that.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And these banks, they don't want to hold these assets. I mean, they don't want to own hotels, right? So they're being as friendly and as workable and as, coming at it from a different perspective today than maybe they would have a couple of years ago had a hotel been in the same position.
Yeah, absolutely. And, we've also truly not had that hotel foreclosure list just go crazy on us. Okay. Lenders realize our fundamentals were all still good. Okay. And they're letting us do things that we haven't done before. They're letting us get into the CapEx to take care of associates and various other things. And it hasn't been so much about, capital improvements. That's been kind of on the wayside. Now, what are your current opportunities for hotel professionals out there? What are you seeing and hearing out there, Adam?
Yeah, great question. So, in the context of pivoting and trying to learn new skills and maybe come at your career in a different way, The situation that I've found in a lot of the discussions that I've been in is that we've got a lot of managers, kind of like myself, who've come up through the ranks. They've been in the industry for a long time, and they haven't really had to develop any new skills outside of kind of a core competency of hotel management skills, because a lot of the time their success wasn't predicated on that. Well, things are very different today, and a lot of the discussions that I'm having are around actually culture building, internal culture building, and service culture, and emotional intelligence, and really leading from a service perspective, servant leadership or level 5 leadership, kind of depending on whether you're in good to great or what philosophy you practice. At the end of the day, it's really more about how can you be of service to the associates that work for you and bring them along and really raise the tide. Gone are the days of command and control. That never worked. It certainly doesn't work today. And you've got a situation where, a lot of employees, those that were fortunate enough to be working over the last year and a bit, are burned out and kind of trying to figure out if they even want to stay in this industry. And on top of that, you've got students that graduated from hotel management schools in May of 2020 or just May of 2021 that are wondering if they made the right decision with their time and money to get a degree in hotel management. And now they're trying to figure out what to do. So, we've got a lot of those soft skills that I think need to come to the forefront.
Yeah, I agree with you. And for everybody that has graduated, last year and this year, you did make the right decision.
You did.
You do not have to go to Wall Street.
Mm-hmm.
You could be a doorman and 20 years later be running a major hotel company if you so choose so. Yeah, it's been tough. And I agree with you that command and control and being somebody who's been recovering after 38 years of working in publicly held corporate America and being told that I was a cog for the vast majority of the time. Those days are done. Mm-hmm. I think, we can flog that horse about, the lack of response in filling jobs right now, but it's more than just a little bit more, a few $100s more a month due to a federal supplement to unemployment. Oh, yeah. It's working conditions, it's benefits. It's, nobody gives up more holidays and more family time than people in the hotel industry. And from my own experience, title insurance. Mm-hmm. Okay. Especially the end of the year and closing deals, you miss a lot.
I saw a meme the other day which kind of summed it up perfectly. It was on one side it was people sitting around a board table that we can't find anybody to work, and really what the truth is nobody wants to work for you, and that's you have to look at it that way. It's not just about throwing more money at the problem, from a pay perspective, another couple dollars an hour. I think we really do have to go back and look at the demands that we put on people in the industry, because that high level, that redlining of giving all the time to other people, that's something that, may not be sustainable as we go forward. And we got to look at this a different way.
I agree. Okay, Adam, I'm going to ask you, Airbnb, you saw the eye roll, and I meant it that time.
Yep.
Okay. Airbnb, vacation rentals, and hospitality. Mm-hmm. Now, are we crashing or converging? Is the disruption factor going away? What do you tell the audience?
Look, all I will say is if you need any more of an indication that vacation rentals are here to stay, just look at how much time, money, and effort Accor and Marriott are putting into this. They see that this is rather than competing with a different segment of travel, why not envelop them into the overall umbrella of travelers that you have access to and get them into your network? And that way you can kind of grow your business, potentially like exponentially. So, this vacation rental stuff is here to stay. Yes, you've got, different states, counties, and cities are regulating it to different levels, but there's no doubt that the professionalization of Airbnb or vacation rental property management it's an area that a lot of people without hospitality experience have been exploiting, air quote exploiting, for a long time. Yeah. Now with so many people in the industry, again, like myself, others with this background, you can bring professional hotel level management into the vacation rental space and excel way past what a lot of amateur property managers are doing. You can be extremely successful by just applying a lot of the same tactics and processes that you do day to day in the hospitality or in the hotel industry.
I agree with you on that. Now, I also think it's going to depend on the region and what's happening there, what the municipalities say, don't say, wink, wink, nod, nod.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've got a place in Hawaii that was built as a hotel / condo. Okay. I own fee title to my unit. I do not have to put it into a rental program, and I don't all the time. Certain points of time I do. My management company, which is a professional management company, takes care of all the direct bookings and everything else. I have never and stayed at an Airbnb, and I'm not going to, but that's my choice. I do not let them push my place through Airbnb. It's just like, nope. I mean, I've got a certain criteria, but communities like the Hawaiian Islands, I think parts of California, Florida, some other locations, some of the snow belt areas where you get the ski in, ski out resorts, I think they get it. There was such a disruption in the very limited residential community within the confines of the city of Anaheim a few years ago, with Airbnb really exploiting things. Disney finally had to go to City Hall and join the side of the residents, and they stopped it. They just said, nope, we're done, no more, period. So I think there is a way to cohabitate together. I don't think it's ever going to be a symbiotic relationship. I think it's going to be adversarial at times. But I do think that Marriott and others are, they're bridging a gap. And that needs to be done.
Yeah. And you've got, by and large, the Airbnb piece. I mean, they're the big dog, but there's a lot of other vacation rental OTAs out there that you can play on. You can also do direct booking through your own website, through your property manager should, certainly be pushing that. But you've got, in the hotel space, we all know leisure, business travel, group, like those are the three big segments. And the vacation rental space is largely leisure. They've yet to crack the code on business travel and group. And so that's still, a place where hotels have overwhelming dominance and will probably remain so.
I agree. And I think, I love the new category, bleisure. And I think for that Fortune 500 companies, multiple, that figure out that, hey, you know what? We've got a lot of road warriors that have been home for well over a year now, and they really don't want to travel the way they used to. So, you know what? We split the tab with them, maybe, pay for an extra night. They pay for one night on the back end of this trip where their family's there, and he can work, she can work, whatever the scenario may be. So I'm really excited about that category. And I think, our bigger hotel groups, whether it's Marriott, Hilton, Hyatt, IHG, I think they're all going to jump on that bandwagon. And I think it's going to be a very interesting category from now on in the hospitality
Couldn't agree more.
Perfect. Hey, my friend, we are out of time. So I'm going to give you an open invitation to come back. I want to talk about, the next time you're on, rethinking those management agreements and how you've added value there. And also, it's time for you to tell the audience how they can get a hold of you. Shameless plug. So maybe they can engage you as a consultant or sign a couple of management agreements.
Yeah, I will happily talk to anybody about that. Absolutely. And I'd love to come back on. Thanks for having me. If you want to learn more about the hotel management company, it's called Knowing Hospitality. Just go to knowinghospitality.com. Very simple. And actually, we produce a podcast through the management company called the Proven Principles Podcast. So just go to the provenprinciplespodcast.com if you want to learn more.
Perfect. Thank you for being here today, Adam.
Great. Thanks for.
I'd also like to thank our production partners for joining us today. We have Red Roof Franchising and Chicago Title's National Commercial Services Group. And guess what? You will be able to meet all of them at the 5th Annual California Lodging Investment Conference being held on October 5th at the Crown Jewel of the Anaheim Resort area, JW Marriott. So as you can see at the bottom of the screen, we're scrolling the website and a promo code for you. I'm not going to say it, so you got to write it down or rewatch this. And also, do producer Danny and I a favor. Go to our YouTube channel, subscribe, smash the bell. That way, you know when all the updates hit. Because everything hits there first, then goes out to our social media platform. And I want to thank you, our audience, for joining us. You know, without you, we don't have a show. And it really means the world to both producer Danny and I that you're joining us on this journey. And if you want to DM us with suggestions for guests, topics, questions, we'd love to hear from you. And as you know, it's YouTube. It's right here on LinkedIn. It's Facebook, it's Twitter, it's Instagram. You can find us on all those platforms. Follow us, like us, smash bells. Do all those things if you would, please. And remember, be kind. Share your knowledge. Now go be amazing, and I'll see you in the next episode.